What's up? Yo, this video is for my real one. This is for my real heads. I'm Shantae. This is Lauren.
Hi.
Lauren. So I have been, first of all, I feel like this moment here is like me like taking my shirt off in front of you in order to show you like some scars that I got from like being in the Jim Crow South in the 60s. So this is a very vulnerable video that I'm sharing with you.
What'd you say? You didn't need to take it to that place, but
Didn't need to take it to the Jim Crow South. So anyways, SCIFI Testament, the name of this channel, is an animated retelling of Bible stories, but in like a sci-fi vision of the Old Testament, specifically focusing on 1st and 2nd Kings. I guess literally right now, 2nd Kings. So I've been writing content for that alongside doing the commentary that you see on the channel if you've been here. And there was an episode that I worked on it's almost been like, not quite a year, but like 6 months ago, that I started animating it. Didn't write the script before I started animating, which I do sometimes. Sometimes it's a bad habit. Sometimes it works. But I got so deep into like the episode without writing anything that like I can't write. I animated too much until like now I can't write it. And so I was like, do I just like bury it? But also I hate when artists just have content that like they don't release just because they're not happy with it. So in an effort to not be a hypocrite, today we will watch this deleted episode together. So Lauren's seen some of it, but I'm happy to show it with you. But at the same time, I'm also like, real talk, I'm kind of embarrassed. But I'm just gonna talk through it. I'll try to talk about like the vision behind what we're focusing on, which is King Amon in 2nd Kings 23, 20, one of those numbers. I always forget. And the vision behind like why this story is so relevant to today, our culture today. So without further ado, let me make myself small.
I haven't seen this episode. I've seen like snips.
Oh, you haven't?
I mean, I've seen parts that you showed me, not the whole thing. So, woohoo!
So I'll try not to pause a lot, but I probably will pause a lot. So I don't know what that sentence means to you, but shelf it. So first of all, this character here is a character named Mono. And you know what? I'll just give you I'll give you the deep where these ideas come from. I'll just be completely nude before you. Mono was inspired by the Monopoly guy. You can see the white stripe on the hat, the one monocle or whatever. In this story, so what I'm trying to explain in 2nd Kings is, and I guess these are spoilers, but you can literally read the Bible. This chapter is very short. But King Amon was the son of King. Oh my gosh, I'm just blanking. Hezekiah? I don't know if that's right. But his father was sold into Babylonian captivity because he led the nation of Israel into rebellion against God, worshiping of other gods, setting up high places, all that like typical like witchcrafty demonic stuff. But his father repented after being drugged into Babylonian captivity, had King Amon, who is the king in this storyline that we're working on, and his son did everything bad that his father did. But in the end of that story in the Old Testament, the Bible says that he was killed by conspirators. So I would imagine these are people who were like kind of like working with him. So in this story that I'm telling, I'm trying to explain. Obviously, I'm taking a lot of liberties because this section of the Bible is very short. But I'm trying to create like a vision for how, like what may have been going on at the time, but trying to focus on the ultimate thing, which is rebelling against God, turning to other gods, which is a constant theme in the Old Testament. So this character represents one of the conspirators, Mono. He's a business owner, has a couple failed businesses, but he has like these luxury airlines that also operate on some AI stuff that I'll talk about as we get later on in the episode. But so yeah, that's him. So he's sitting in his office, just forlorn, thinking like, what am I gonna do with my life? Does he look sad? What do you think, Lauren? Does he look happy?
I mean, anyone spacing out in front of their computer, we all know what that's like. And no, you're not usually that happy.
Wasn't that a dumb question? Does he look happy? That was a silly question. I want to say something real quick. Let me rewind a little bit. What's your favorite color?
Green.
So this helicopter here, I'm actually very proud of. This was inspired by my favorite anime, Ghost in the Shell. There's a helicopter in it called Jigabachi. This was heavily inspired by that, and like drones, like just the drones that you fly around. So I came up with this little concept for a helicopter. I'm very proud of it. Also, here's a little thank you. Here's a little Easter egg. Deep secret. This channel, it's crazy. This channel originally started out as like kids content. So I was making, and I still love it. I just don't do it anymore. Maybe someday it'll come back. But it was a show called Goodnight, Mr. Moosey. This little red guy here, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but on the right of the screen, this red dude with his fists out, that is actually Mr. Moosey. So this is a little homage to how this channel started out. Maybe one day I'll unprivate some of those videos because they are insane. But actually, I was writing some like biblical stories, or like Chronicles of Narnia type, allegory type stories that I still plan to redo with all the stuff I'm learning with 3D and stuff or whatever. Anywho, just wanted you to know that. Again, this is for my real ones. This video is for my real ones. Black Horse Lover, I see you. Nate Young, I see you. So the people here are running into the building. These are the cops that are raiding something. Okay, this character here, also this little scene here was kind of inspired by Raiden, right? This character is kind of inspired by Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. So he has the little landing sequence. I was thinking about when Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 4. What do you like? What's the
I forgot about his name. I remember you asking me about his name, and you just.
This is why I'm saying like some of the stuff is really embarrassing.
I mean, why? What do you mean?
Because I'm still not sold on the name of this character.
Well, you were sold at the time, so old you was very happy.
And then I got a refund. But inspired by Raiden, the cyborg ninja version of Raiden, as you can see, the mask or whatever. And even like this little intro here, the bottom, Metal Gear Solid, they'll introduce their characters like that. So I thought, oh, it'd be cool to like do it in my animated stuff. By the way, this sky, y'all, I'm very proud of this. This took a lot of work to like get the lighting on like the 3D clouds to like look right and like create the mood that I wanted. I'm very proud of the scene. So you'll highs and lows. White people usually do highs and lows, but I guess I'm a bow down at the altar of caucasity today. So anyways, that's this character. I don't know what this character's name is gonna be. I actually rewrote the name in my notes, but who knows, right? But I don't think this is it. So the reason they're in like this secret office, right? And I very proud of this too. Very proud of this. In this story, so the central theme that I told you about, which is worship of other gods, and how King Amon directly like led the nation of Israel into turning from God and turning to other gods. So in my story, the vehicle for that is a software called Host. Host is an acronym for something that, because I have 1,000 things on my mind right now that I want to share with you. I don't know, but Host is an AI. It's like an artificial intelligence god. It can be whatever god you worship. So I'm trying to use this as a vehicle to explain how Israel, the biblical language that is used is they worshipped like the heavenly host. So the focus is astrology, right? And like fortune telling, that type of stuff, which is obviously very, very, very relevant to the society today. So I wanted to be able to show how demons and how like alternate spirituality, the reason people get into this stuff isn't because like they just love Satan, at least not to them. Like they really are seeking answers. And sometimes these other beings can get it right. So even though here, like the reason that it's AI is so that you can see very clearly the source, at the same time, like, kind of losing my train of thought, like the predictive ability of like an AI to be able to know things about you and know things about reality and like give you direction, because it does have knowledge, kind of like demons. Like demons have knowledge, but they're not God. So this, I don't remember what I was writing the scene before, but they're like, somebody is, I think I was writing like somebody is stealing the host software and releasing it to everybody, because at this stage in the story that you remember.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
At this stage of the story, the host software was still in like a prototype, but these people see it like let's get this thing out. Like, also very important, Israel, they're in a they had lost. So Israel was split up into two kingdoms. One of the kingdoms fell, and so this other kingdom, which I believe is present day Samaria, Babylon, like they like all their people live there now. So it's basically gone. So it's just Judah, which is where this takes place. So the nation of Israel is very desperate and very much not trusting God with anything, but they're slowly being dragged into captivity. So the police here, these little police mice, they're raiding. Also, these police mice, inspiration was Bubblegum Crisis, super old anime, but like a really early cyberpunk anime. Low-key, high-key, very good anime. Charlie, my friend, put me onto that one, and it inspired a lot of this. The banner on our YouTube channel is actually a it's like a imitation of a actual poster for that anime. So yeah, the police show up. They're trying to stop this software from being released, but there's like, you know, the typical, oh no, it's finalizing, it's gonna be released into the world and whatever, you know. So this little scene here, I'm also very proud of. This is like the intro. It's like you getting to see like his ninja powers and stuff. Here's some more. Well, actually, I won't get into it. Okay, so here's another deep cut for y'all. This here was actually another episode that I was working on. See, this is why you should plan when you seek to write something. You should actually plan it, because this was a hot mess.
But it was a really cool looking mess.
You're right, it was a cool.
So I mean, and I have watched some very confusing anime that means absolutely nothing, and sometimes it's just pretty. So honestly, maybe you should have just released it and been like, "Look, classic anime."
I'm looking at you. What's that one we just watched? Where they like, there's the dude that gets turned into the chair. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? I forget what it's called. It's kind of newish. Yeah. Yes, Suzume. Yes. I'm looking at you, Suzume. You're right too. That I do have built-in excuses. But this was another episode that I was working on that I ended up merging into this episode, and this is how this episode became this monstrous, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. But I'm happy to.
But I was so blown away being around servers and stuff. Like, that looks like a server, and this like retro computer thing you did. I just, it's so cool looking.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. That computer is also inspired by like a little project I found on Behance, and I thought the computer looked really cool, so I was like, I wonder if I could make this, and I learned a lot in the process. So this character is she's a part of like a trio that I'm also working in to represent the people of Israel, because at the end of this story too, again, spoilers, but it's right there in the Bible, you should read it. There's a point in the Bible where after the conspirators killed King Amon, the Bible also mentions that the people killed the conspirators. So her and two other people represent the people, and in the story eventually we'll have that same thing drawn out. But again, trying to communicate just what God was up to in the time, and trying to communicate the very important biblical themes in this story. So she is in this virtual game called Skill Romancer that was inspired by Sword Art Online, and just like battle royale type games. Very proud of this. Very, very proud of this. So yeah, this is her room that she's in. Her little cute mousy shirt, right? So she goes into the VR world. Skill Romancer Online. Would you play this game, Lauren? Would you lock in?
I mean, anything called that with this cool
100p.
Yeah.
100p. Yeah, look at that. Like, I actually wanted to sell this like quad feed. Yeah. What do you think's in that loadout? What do you think is in the loadout quad feed? Actually, no. What do you think is in the loadout surf and turf?
You probably have like Starfish Ninja throwing stars or something.
Like Battle Pass skin, Starfish Ninja stars. That's actually tight. And then of course the last one's Out of Control. So this, when I said inspired by Sword Art, this tower I feel like is something like that is in Sword Art. So yeah, this scene here, I have something called synesthesia. So I get like it used to be color sound, so I hear music and I see colors. But it's turned into like images sound. So I was listening to a song by one of my favorite artists, Actress, and this image kind of like popped in my head. Song was called "Fragments of a Butterfly's Face," and this image popped in my head. And actually, like, look at it. It's very pretty, very pretty. So this is the gun range of another one of the conspirators. Like, they go to this gun range to talk about stuff that they maybe shouldn't be talking about, / just practice their accuracy, stuff like that. So yeah, Top Shot. Top Shot was also inspired by NLE Choppa, or just like the language of Gen Z. Gen Z rappers. Lauren has to return to work, but she was here for long enough, right? A little too long. So it's like, I'm playing.
As I spit.
That's okay.
I'm spitting mad at you. Have fun, and you're welcome, because this episode was beautiful. So I'm proud of you for releasing it just for the sake of our visual loveliness. It's fun.
So this was me trying to do my little take on like anime walk scenes, when they're just trotting along. So, okay, this character, this character may not be in future episodes. This character was another reason why this spiraled out of control. But I was toying with the idea of like this character representing demonic influence. And so because the Bible uses language about the nation of Israel, about them just sinning in so many different ways, in order to like help you to understand this is not like abstract language or like how sin can show up in a society, I wanted this character to represent like police corruption. And not in like a silly, like unrelatable us versus them, like, I don't know, type of way, but like really how whatever work you're in, how like selfishness, looking after your own interests above the interests of others can lead to like the sin will just carry you much farther than you're willing to go. So that's kind of what I was doing with this plot line, and definitely still want to explore that, but I didn't do well. So he's got his little white key card, and I was just playing with a lot of different like anime style shots or whatever. Looking at the white key card, and walks up to walks up to the door. Well, you'll see eventually. Walks to the door, taps the. This is like when you go to a hotel and you have those little thingies, and you just got married. Specifically, when you just got married. So this is another character that I don't have a name for. No, I think that, you know what? That's the character in the beginning that did the ninja thing. That's right. Yeah, look at me just not knowing my own situation or whatever. Not again. There's like a little AI interface that he has that's showing like, this is, typical cyberpunk type stuff or whatever. Shoots the target. Look at that bullseye. He's just so tickled that he was able to hit the mark. This is his friend, another one of the conspirators. This character does not have a name either. And then this little camera here. By the way, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've gotten this deep into the episode without acknowledging my amazing voice actors and actress, Kip, and my wife is looking at me like, WTH. Kip and Shelly. And when I first set out to do this, I'm not playing, y'all. Kip and Shelly like was confirmation that God was like, yes, I believe in you. I could not have arranged these people coming into my life and being willing to just continue to do insane voice acting. Like, I love you guys. So this character was a character I'd written for Shelly, still will, but this is the only like voice of reason kind of amidst this storyline that I'm working on of police corruption, and to paint a picture of just the corruption in Israel at the time, which still going on today, isn't it? Anyways. So, by the way, you know what? No, that's a different topic for a different day. So, yeah, he's standing in the corner, he's tapping his gun. So here's another concept that I wasn't really sure what I was doing with it, but I wasn't sure if I was going to make this character like a spiritual entity or like an AI entity, something not human, or I don't know. I don't really know what I was doing, or like a transhuman type thing, or trans mouse, because these are mice, heavily modified. But I wanted to indicate that there was something different about this mouse by the fact that the camera cannot identify or even like pick up correctly like who this person is. So just like we'll just say creepy vibes. And the reason that they're looking at each other here was there's some memory that they have attached to one another. Like this character, the shadow character in the corner, is is some type of evil influence on this character. So this is a flashback that they're having, and the direction I was going with this was like that they know something about them that could get them executed, I guess. But I don't know if that makes any sense because, again, the Bible talks about the entire nation was just wilding out. Everyone should have been executed. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, the flashback starts. This character's driving on the freeway. Got at least I think so, cool little anime shot of the eternal road. You know what I'm saying? This bike, also obviously inspired by Akira. Or that style of bike, which I think Akira was first or whatever. So there's the mouse again sitting on the truck that pulls up next to them. But here, this is like it's almost like sometimes you'll see in sci-fi when like people have the ability to like show up in your like interface stuff or whatever, like hacking a person, right? So they get distracted. The controls on their bike mess up. This character's trying to slow the bike down, ends up taking a detour. And this detour leads to what ends up being, well, you'll see it. I'll at least let you get there on your own. This scene actually took a long time to get this bike to correctly like drive down the hill. It kept like clipping through the floor or whatever. I don't know why, y'all. I do know why, actually. I let this scene hang for a long time because I don't know. I just been watching anime where they just like let shots just sit forever. But and we're also coming up on the only dialogue that I actually put into the episode. Also another shout out. My goodness. Again, God is alive and well because this I don't know how this happened. It was God. That's how it happened. But another friend, Daniel Kaitonen, made these apartments or a lot of the assets for these apartments. Someone I just met completely out of the blue who has created a lot of art for this, a lot of 3D art for this. And I love you, Daniel. I cannot thank you enough for all of the help that you have contributed. And you are evidence that God is alive in my life and in the world. But yeah, they pull up to this little apartment complex. These flowers start levitating because these are offerings. And this here is called...
Come to leave.
Let me rewind a little bit. That robot you just saw here. Actually, I'll rewind. I'll fast forward to it. Short story. I'll keep it short. But this is called Little Oo. These robots. This is actually a name that I got from. So I teach Chinese students English early in the mornings. And one of my students had like a little stuffed animal named Little Oo that I thought was really cute. So in honor of her, I named this Little Oo. But these have many functions in the society. I won't get into those functions, but in this case, they're tapped into the host software, which is acting as a spiritual being here, as you'll see. So, hence the language that you're about to hear. Yeah. Here we go. So the flowers, the offerings, rise up and then...
Did you come to leave an offering? You were born under the sign of Ursa. Ursans are ruled by the constellation Ursa. They are peacemakers and delight in restoration. This is why you have come here, just now. The universe has appointed this time for you to come to know yourself. Do you understand the assignment? And the assignment is God-given, isn't it? Call it a hunch, but I feel like the universe has good things planned for you because of the energy you have put in the room. #spirituality. The altar is just ahead.
So that little section of dialogue, I wanted to make use language that's very familiar to what we would know in our current society, the universe. Specifically when the Bible talks about worship of heavenly hosts, which you could think of as like ancient astrology. One of the things that I I see in astrology, and even to an extent, I mean, this is controversial, but like the Enneagram, which Christians love for some reason, is how astrology and like birth signs and all that type of stuff, it often like it hands you your personality, and it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy in that like people will like constrain themselves to their astrological signs. And it's just so interesting because yeah, maybe some of the stuff does resonate. Maybe it's just like because you heard it, now it's true, but it wouldn't be if you hadn't heard it otherwise or whatever, or it wouldn't be that restrictive or whatever. But how people really get attached to these things, and it's like it's I would say how the devil like earns your trust, right? They're able to communicate things that may be true about you, but it's incomplete, so in a sense it's not true. But especially with astrology, it very much like shrinks your personality down to like, oh, you were born under the 8th lunar phase, so you're mild-tempered or whatever. So in this case, this person I was writing is struggling with something, and this kind of gets his curiosity up or whatever, or at least he wants to see what's going on. So they go into this area where they're building an altar.
Universe, we send our energy to you, which vibrates at the frequency of our desires. Universe, we send our energy.
Also, the chanting here, I was thinking of like a counterfeit version of how the Bible talks about how the angels are constantly singing praises to God in heaven. Here, these dark angels are constantly singing praises to you or whatever, but like in an AI, in like a weird AI type way, right? That priest is also a conspirator in the storyline.
Universe, we send our energy to you, which vibrates at the frequency of our desires. Universe, we send our energy to you, which vibrates at the frequency of our desires.
So there's the character that you saw in like the gun range. This was supposed to be how they meet up, or how they begin to influence the police officer character, but who knows what's gonna happen with the storyline now. Okay, so you see here, the AI made a banana for him, right? It like so in the Bible, I think in the Old and New Testament, like people who couldn't afford to give offerings, like they had like really inexpensive offerings, like or maybe free or something, but and I might be getting this wrong, but they would give them things to offer to God or whatever. I think if I'm off on this, then wow. But I wanted to show the counterfeit version. So like when it makes the banana, like the banana is like shaking, and it's like kind of like messed up because the AI technology doesn't quite know how to construct it. You know, like when you type in a prompt for something and it just comes out twisted. Like that's kind of what the offering was here. It's like an unclean offering. This statue also, I'm really proud of this little gold statue. I think I was looking at like Hawaiian idols or something like that. Very obviously, I think I wanted it to look very foreign to the nation of Israel, like something that just feels really out of place. So I thought Hawaiian would be a good inspiration for that. I think that's it, actually. Yeah, that's it. Because this scene here, I looped it back from earlier because that was maybe supposed to be where the flashback ended, but. That's the end of the episode. So I am definitely going to build better habits. As far as I'm trying to make myself big again. Nope, that's not how you do it. I'm definitely trying to build better habits in writing and preparing episodes so that I don't end up with this happening again. Also, I've really been trying to just make content, more content. The thing is, and this is, I mean, I don't even know if this is relevant to know or whatever, but especially like the animated stuff, it's very time consuming, and like I don't want it to be like a super long time between just putting stuff on the channel. That's why I've been making a lot more shorts and making a lot more shorter YouTube content. But I'm still in the process of trying to learn how to take all the art and all the stuff that I love to do that I think is what I have to contribute to the content creation space and the Christian bubble. And just trying to deliver these stories, because I feel very strongly about them, deliver them to you in a more regular, consistent, timely fashion. So if you love the Lord, if you know the Lord, just pray for your boy. Pray for your boy with that. But thanks for watching. This was a little scary, but I'm really happy that I did it, and I hope you got something from it. So thank you so much. Thank you, Lord.
Love you guys. Thank you
Yeah.
for being here.
Yeah, for real.
And honestly, all the support with verbal encouragement and obviously monetary has been super helpful for him with his software and being able to do these kinds of things. So, I mean, genuinely, like, I know he was working through some stuff and there was some fire episodes and then there was some stuff like this one where he felt shy about. But, like, wow. Feel so supported, feel so encouraged. Better words,
For real.
Better words for those things.
For real. Because y'all, if you, the content creation is hard, is depressing, lonely sometimes, and just the support you guys give, like everything she said, is so true. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, and I'm gonna keep creating for y'all until the Lord says stop. Until the Lord says stop. All right. Love you guys. See you soon.